Hello, and welcome back to Hagan's New Jersey PIP Tips, where we bring you monthly segments on New Jersey auto insurance personal injury protection, otherwise known as PIP. Today we're going to do something slightly different. I'm going to do a Q&A session from questions that some of you have sent in to me regarding PIP issues. Of course, you can always go back to my prior videos. I believe there's 22 of them now. And you can look at the title to see an issue, whether it's appeal, billing, pre-certification, etc. Any of those type of issues. And of course you can always call me. And then finally we'll do our monthly drawing for those people who participate in the Hagan Professional Information Program. So let's get into the office and get right to it. Okay, our first question for today comes from Lisa at Sussex County Total Health. Thanks for sending in the question, Lisa. And her first question is dealing with the appeal. They had a patient who had treatment denied in July. They appealed. Next request in August was denied. They haven't appealed yet, but they're still within their time frame. Remember, there is a time frame period. And then they sent in a request for September, and that got approved actually by the physician advisor review. So the question is, does this mean that the prior visit should be able to arbitrate it if not paid, or will we have to file a post-service appeal? We got a similar question from also, I think, Sue at Dr. Pollar's office, which is Bergen Spine and Rehab Center in Bergenfield, New Jersey, in that pre-service appeal, when services get denied in pre-certification, whether you then have to do a post-service after you do them and bill for them. So let me address the first. This is somewhat good. In your appeal, you should do the pre-service appeal. In fact, include that they authorize later treatment, that authorization letter. That could be additional documentation along with all the things that must be included, the specific form, along with certain records that must be included. Again, I've done a video in the past on this, on the new appeal process, so take some time to read this. Now, the new appeal process is only supposed to be a one-level appeal. So if you appeal a pre-service denial, pre-certification denial, and you do a pre-service appeal, if they deny it again, you do not have to do another appeal when you then perform the service and bill it and get an explanation of benefits that deny it. The only slight exception to this might be as if on the EOB they deny for a different reason, or maybe they pay part of the treatment and not the rest of it, in which case you would have to do a post-service appeal based on the EOB. If you want to be extra safe, which in this world it probably pays to be, because you never know what the carriers are going to argue when it comes to arbitration, you may want to do a pre-service and post-service appeal. So pre-service when it gets denied by pre-certification, and then when you get a denial by the EOB, do a post-service. But this is going to put a lot of extra work, and that's not the intent of the regulation. It's supposed to be a one-level appeal. So you can be safe in doing the one level, but again, if you want to be extra safe, do both. Hopefully that covered it. The second question from Lisa from Sussex County Total Health, again, they're located in Newtown, New Jersey, if I didn't say earlier, was dealing with the healthcare primary. So they have a patient who's got healthcare primary, Geico. They're out of network for the health insurance, and therefore the health insurance applied it all to the patient's deductible. They have since billed Geico with the health EOBs from the health insurance carrier, but Geico's telling them they will not pay it at all because they're out of network and the patient should go in network. The question is it accurate, or are they responsible to pay the claim? They are not accurate. Just because it's a health insurance primary does not mean that the PIP does not have to pay just because they go out of network. The correct thing to do, as Lisa did here, is to bill the health insurance. When you get the denial or reduction, or in this case it got applied to deductible, you then forward the health insurance EOB with your bill to the PIP carrier, and they are responsible, and they should be paying pursuant to the PIP regulations. Now, just because they tell you it's healthcare primary doesn't always mean it. There's some other exceptions and arguments we can make, because this is an election, meaning everybody's standard policy has PIP as primary. You can elect to have healthcare primary, but you got to do it on a assigned coverage selection form. So again, Lisa, thanks for the question. Also, Dr. Pollar's office, Susan Acosta, Thanks for sending in the question regarding the appeals. Our next question comes from Dr. Stuart Padobe in Lakewood, New Jersey. So the question deals with the limited PIP policies, $15,000, and his question is, how do I get paid if I do an MUA on a PIP case where there's a $15,000 limit? So this, although it doesn't specifically apply to just when you're doing MUAs, it's pretty much anytime you have a $15,000 policy with a patient with significant injuries that are going to go over the $15,000 limit. Well, first of all, I would say let's make sure that it's truly a $15,000 policy. Certain insurance carriers are dumping insureds, the clients, the patients, into these policies and are not getting a properly coverage selection form like I just talked about. If, however, it is a legitimate $15,000 PIP policy, one of the things you want to do, in addition to billing the insurance carrier and billing them quickly and hopefully getting paid before the limits are used up, is to get what many attorneys will sign, and the patients get the patient to sign, is what's called a letter of protection. This way, the patient's bill will be protected by the patient and also the patient's attorney in case they have a suit against a third party, and ultimately they're always responsible for their own bills. The letter of protection is helpful so you can collect, putting the attorney on notice, but under the current case law, and this recently went to the appellate division, those expenses beyond the $15,000 are now what's called boardable expenses. So when they're suing the other person, if somebody else is at fault, anything above the policy limits can be included as a direct amount damages in the lawsuit. You can't include anything with PIP such as the copay and deductible in the lawsuit against the third party. This is the law in New Jersey, no fault. But once you go beyond those limits, they are what we call boardable expenses, and the third party can potentially be responsible for them. So you want to get a letter of protection from the patient and also get the attorney to sign off on it or at least acknowledge it. Dr. Padobe, thank you very much for your question. Again, these are all appreciated. Now the final question comes from Kristy from Spine One, which has locations in Egg Harbor, Northfield, and Atlantic City, New Jersey. So many of you are starting to use my portal, eBridge, Hagan Law, to send me documents. It's HIPAA compliant, it's secure, and the documents always stay there. Many of you are very happy with it because it makes it easy for you, it makes it easy for me, and there's always a great documentation. One of the problems, though, is when somebody's storing all their records electronically in multiple files, multiple uploads, and it becomes difficult because some are trying to upload them individually. So it's a lot of work for you in terms of uploading separately, and then also for us because now instead of having one file for a patient, we have multiples. Well, good news is there is a solution for it. I'm going to show it on the screen so you can follow along. But the first thing you want to do is open your patient's file on your computer, create a new file folder, name the folder something like Docs for PIP-ARB or the patient's name, PIP-ARB. You then want to copy the files you want to send us and paste them into this new folder. Once you're done that and you have the new folder created, you're going to right click on that new folder and select Send To. You'll select Compressed Zip Folder. So it's the compressed folder. A new zip folder will then appear. You'll be able to use this zip folder to put it on the eBridge. You'll then, once you create this zip folder, you log on to eBridge. You select the Import tab at the top of the web page, and you can either drag that new zip folder where indicated or select Browse for a file and select that new zip folder. Once you do, all that will be transported over and it'll be done in one. You'll then have to complete the additional information as indicated on the web page, and then finally at the end you'll click Import. And this should take all the files that were separate at one point that you created into a zip folder and then be able to go back out. And this should save you a lot of steps and make it one file so you don't have to look for multiple files when you're going through your eBridge sign-in. Well, that's all the questions we have. We greatly appreciate them. Keep sending them, because even if it's not put on air, we will answer you. And even these, I think I sent the answer back almost immediately on all these questions. So for those who participate in the Hagan Professional Information Program, which is my monthly newsletters and seasonal thank you gifts, you know we do a monthly drawing for these questions that get sent in. So as long as you send us any type of, call us, send us a letter, new demand for arbitration on a file you need, to be arbitrated by us. Anytime you contact us, we put your name in. As you can see, we're done with our reds. We're now getting into green tickets. We enter you in a monthly drawing, $50 gift card. And so keep in mind, if you don't win this month, there's always next one. So keep sending them in. So this month's winner is (1310067). Oh, Lisa from Sussex County Health. Congratulations. I guess not only did you get your questions answered, you won a prize, a $50 gift card. So congratulations. Again, if you didn't win this month, by all means, keep sending those correspondence to us. We'll get it out to you. Make sure you're signed up for our Hagan Professional Information Program. This month, as you know, since it's fall, we're entering our fall thank you gifts, which every year I've been doing for the last 3 years, Thanksgiving Day pies. Those forms will be going out this month, so you can place your order. We may be changing up the pie selection, but in the past we've offered pumpkin, apple, and mixed fruit crumb. So look forward to hearing those from you and giving those awards. Well, that's all we have for you today. I hope you have a safe fall season, a happy Halloween, and for those chiropractors who will be at the ANJC convention, I look forward to seeing you stop by my booth. As always, I'm never too busy for your kind PIP referrals. Thank you, and God bless.